everyone, and welcome to VM Inspires the Motivate. Oh, I'm sorry, that's an old habit. Excuse me. Hello everyone, and welcome to the analysis of Slumdog Millionaire. First, I would like to go over a short summary of the movie. The movie is about Jamal, who is a little slumdog boy who lives in India. He suddenly becomes a contestant in the program called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in India. This means that we, in the movie, find out his entire life history while the questions are asked. We get to understand why Jamal knows all the answers to all the questions because of his lifetime. And in terms of the setting, as I said, they live in the slums in India, and they're very poor, especially in the beginning of the movie. Jamal, the main character, is a T-boy, which also means that he is very, very poor and lives in the in the lowest part of the caste system. His brother Salim makes more money as the movie goes on because he ends up working for a guy called Javed, who is a gangster in the entire neighborhood. I will go on to the characterization now. Jamal is a very honest boy, and he falls in love with this girl called Latika, and he's actually willing to risk his entire life for this girl because he is so in love. He's also very honest because he doesn't really want to do all the criminal stuff that his brother Salim goes into. Jamal only wants to find his love of life, and Salim actually ends up working for this guy, like I just said, and he's willing to commit several crimes just to get enough money and just to maintain a lot of power. We think there are two different main themes in this movie. The one of them is love, because we follow how Jamal just really wants to pursue Latika because he wants to live with her, and he doesn't really know what else he wants. That's all he knows that he wants, is to be with Latika, the love of his life. But while the whole movie is actually built upon that, we also see many examples of how India is today. So you can say that the other theme in the movie is to show the world how the India actually looks today. So we see how the religions clashes, and we see how the very poor parts of Indian population lives, and many other things. In terms of our opinion about this movie, we see one strength in the movie, which is that where the mother is killed in the beginning of the movie, it kind of shows a really good example on how it would look in India while two religions clashes. In this movie we're talking about the Muslims and the Hindus, where there is a riot going on and the mother dies. That was a very action-packed scene. One of the weaknesses though in the movie is that all the love stuff is kind of a cliché, you can say, or a cliché. While that is said, other aspects of the movie, such as the India picture that is being painted with this movie, kind of makes the movie very unique, and you get very interested in the rest of the story while you watch it. In terms of the filming technique and effects and sound effects, we have looked a little bit at that as well, and we have recognized that when very action-packed scenes happens, and when there is a lot of dramatic scenes, they tend to spin the camera in several ways that makes the viewer feel that the movie is very dramatic. For example, the riot scene where the mom dies, and the one where Salim lets go of Latika with the train, there's a lot of action filming there as well, which really makes the movie good. A sound effect that we have realized as well, there is one scene where the background music from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire actually gets played in the background, and we think that it's actually used in several exciting scenes. We are also analyzing the message of the movie, and we don't think it can actually be described in one word. We can see that the movie clearly shows that one who wants to pursue his dream, or destiny as they call it in the movie, will eventually succeed. While Jamal is an example that one can actually pull himself out of the slums and rise to fortunes, the movie succeeds in conveying that the countries like India it's very, very difficult to actually rise from being a slumdog to become rich or to get what you want in life. Jamal, though, is only obsessed with one thing, as I said earlier, which is that he only wants to be with Latika. So that actually ends up being his dream. He doesn't really want the money. Even though you don't pursue power and money, you will eventually end up getting at least the money and maybe the girl who is the love of your life. So we think that is a very good way of showing that maybe we aren't actually always doing the right things here in the Western world. Maybe we need to stop focusing so much on power and money and maybe just go for the girl. So totally, we want to give this movie 5 out of 5 stars. Perfect movie, very unique, and has a lot of good aspects in it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.